We flew him all the way from Nashville, Tennessee. He is the #4 lightweight in the world. This dude has more fight options than a YouTuber right now. He is the UFC Cash Cow. Come on, man. He's the UFC Cash Cow. He has one big old fight coming up. It's Michael Chandler. God damn it, dude. Michael, bro, if you're gonna do it, you gotta do it right.
Do it. I'm a professional. Get your shit together.
It's Michael Chandler on this week's Food Truck Diaries, and I'm feeding him Kelley's Sweet Barbecue because we're both carnivore. Let's go. Dude,
it's got to be close to the mouth.
Damn it.
I know the direction of the sound. You don't.
Make it thick, super thick. From my wallet to my check. I don't want it if it's skinny, but I need it if it's thick. Need a thick girl for the thick boy. I need everything I get, super thick boy. You ready? Used to have a model bitch, now I got a thick one. Yeah, I do. Last night went late, yeah, we had a sick one. Got very drunk. Yeah, and I like options. I don't.
Mr. Michael Chandler.
What's up, bro?
What's up, brother?
How are you, man?
This isn't your first rodeo, man. You've been on her a few times.
Recurring guest, man.
You are, man. Maybe the most. You're up there, dude.
Trying to set rerecords.
Yeah,
you know?
You're setting records, man. You're like me on ridiculousness.
See?
They can't get rid of me.
No, exactly.
Yeah, it's a cool record to have. I think it's fair to say you are the golden goose of the UFC right now, man.
I don't know about that.
Dude.
But,
I mean, there's
yeah.
Connor, who's their green golden goose.
Yeah.
But as far as like, I think you've become kind of this undeniable fighter where your next fight, we're talking big boy fights, and Dana and the UFC seem to be on board.
Yeah.
So to me, I'm like, oh, Mike's about to get paid.
We can only hope. That's the goal.
Yeah.
But I mean, no, I just honestly, all I'm doing is coming in. And when I sat down in the room with Hunter Campbell and had that phone call with Dana White, it was almost 2 years ago at this point. I said, I want to be a good thing for your organization. I want to come in and do exactly what I said I was going to do, which was come in, either prove I am who I am right away or sink or swim. And then I could have came in, went 0-2 and got cut, but here we are. And, dude, I'm having a blast.
Dude, here we are. You're coming off a freaking Spartan kick KO, might be the best KO of the year.
It's in the front runner right now, you know. So
it's Tony Ferguson.
Yeah, so who's never been KO'd before? He's been TKO'd, but never flatlined like that. So I mean, it was good, man.
And the thing about that fight too, it's not like it was like Tony looked good.
Tony looked
That's
good.
That's the thing.
Man.
It wasn't like this watered down version of Tony Ferguson. I mean, granted, he has his fight miles on him.
Yeah.
It's still Tony Ferguson.
He's Tony Ferguson. He was extremely tough, so you had to be willing to get settled in for a 15-minute war. That's what I was prepared for.
100%.
And obviously, that first round, he tagged me a couple times. He's awkwardly long and moves awkwardly.
It's tough to mimic him.
Yeah, he didn't even hit me with the sand. He didn't hit me with any the crazy Tony stuff. But just the way that he moves, his mannerisms, they're different than anybody else you're training with in the gym. So you kind of had to go in there and make decisions on the fly, and I kind of threw that kick on a wing and a prayer and threw up the middle.
And I don't think I've ever seen you do that.
No, I don't do it a lot. And I swear I can't tell if I do remember thinking, let's see if this works, or if I watch the replay and I think that's what I was thinking in the moment. But because Tony had his hands kind of here and his elbows were out, so I knew there was a lane up the middle, and I wanted to threaten the takedown, go high, go low, go uppercut in the middle. Obviously, I'm a hands-heavy guy, but I was like, let's see if this works. And then all of a sudden,
it worked.
He's on the ground. I'm doing backflips,
KO of the year,
and hopefully it's KO of the year.
And now you're the cash cow for the UFC. You really are, dude. Because you talk about it, it's like, if I'm the UFC, this is what I would do. And again, I'm just not like just spewing this out, and there's no kind of gravity behind it. Like these are narratives and fights that could very well happen. Like if I'm the UFC, they've talked about you and Nate Diaz. Mm-hmm. You're down for you and Nate Diaz. That's a blockbuster fight.
I'm down for
There's down for you and Connor. There's a lot of smoke with that. Dana was like, yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Chandler, Connor makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
You know, and then there's, in your division, you'll have a champ right now. So you look at the way that lays out. There's some big fights there, which we can get to. But if I'm the UFC, Connor had the mishap with Dustin Poirier where his leg got all messed up.
Yep.
He's rehabbing now. They say he'll be back maybe late December, early 2023. It's up to Connor what he wants to do. Nate goes, dude, I want one fight. I'm ready to go. Chandler's ready to go. He's like, I'm down to do it. Let's do it.
That fight too,
if I'm the UFC, this is what I do. Like, all right, Connor, we don't have much has left. Nate wants to do just one, get out. So who's going to be around? It's going to be Michael Chandler. So why don't we double down on Michael Chandler? Why don't we have Chandler take out both of them?
I would, yeah.
And then you and I are going Sizzler.
Then we,
you know what I'm saying? It's like you, Nate Diaz.
Then we buy
money.
some food trucks.
Then we have our own food truck.
Our own
Chandler
food truck.
Schaub food truck.
No,
just our shit.
But no, ideally, yeah. I mean, it's a very interesting division, and I do think, because people say, man, you know, you're 36, you came into the UFC a little bit late, and we kind of talked about that over the years, and I'm like, I think I came in at the exact right time. Khabib retires, Poirier and Conor were tied up in their trilogy thing, or their rematch. Yeah. That puts me in line to fight for the title, fight Oliveira for the title. I lose. Title. Fight of the year against Justin Gaethje. Like, everything has come together really well. Beneil Dariush was supposed to fight Islam for the number 1 contender spot. Beneil gets hurt. Now they're talking about Oliveira versus him, possibly for the title. But then you have Oliveira talking about waiting for Conor. And I said, Oliveira, wait for Conor. I'll keep the division warm. Me and Islam will fight for the title in October, November, whenever they want to do it. I mean, I'm here to work. I got my work boots on.
I think, I love that. But I think that's why you're the cash cow for the UFC, because you've had win, lose, or draw, no boring fights. It's exciting fights. You're fighting the top upper echelon guys. They're great fights. You're not like this lay and pray guy, so they can sell the fight. The fan base, the UFC fan base, is familiar with you. And then also, you know, obviously you fought Charles Oliveira pretty recently. That first round, man, you could say 10-8. Like, it was a great round for you. But I think in order to get back to see that rematch again, to me, when you were like, I'll fight Islam, I was like, that makes a lot of sense. Because if that's for an interim title, then Charles Oliveira has no choice but to fight you again. Yeah. Because there's no choice.
No, for sure.
Now I will say this, and you know I love the fuck Eddie, and I don't know Islam from, you know, those people sitting over there. Islam, I think personally, would be your toughest matchup in the 55 division.
Islam's good, but what Islam has is the wrestling, and I think I negate his wrestling. I do think
he'd be forced to stand with you.
I do think so, and I think
his fundamentals on the feet are pretty good.
Yeah, they're decent. Yeah, but he's a southpaw.
He's not a power guy.
No, he's not a power guy, and man, I have an ability to get in your face and make guys who are normally in your face type of guys get on their back foot, a la the Justin Gaethje fight.
You make it ugly, yeah.
I make it ugly, but
plus you hit like a fucking truck.
Yeah. Well, and that's where, if Oliveira wants to wait out, that's fine. We'll keep the division going. And also, you look at me versus Oliveira. Yeah, I was a gnat's eyelash away from finish him in the first round.
So
and I do believe that moment got the best of me. I didn't fight my fight that I needed to. I wanted to go out there. I wanted to get in his face right away, because at that point in time, we were still saying that Charles Oliveira breaks. Charles Oliveira isn't as tough as we thought he was.
Yep.
We stand corrected. We all do.
Yeah.
Charles Oliveira is tougher than we thought.
Correct.
He's more confident than we thought. He's the champion.
He's
the real champion, even though he doesn't currently hold the belt.
But isn't it weird in your division, like at 55, like because of that weight mishap?
Yep.
You know, there's no actual bona fide champion. Your division's a little bit tied up, and then Gaethje's going to get the nose surgery, so he's out for a while. You got Conor kind of looming over all you guys. You know, you got Makhachev and then Khabib, who's a big influence, going, Makhachev's next. Yeah. And then so it's like this, and 55 so stacked. Then you got Dariush there. Then you got Belal Muhammad and, Sean Brady. Yeah. So you got all this stuff going on.
A lot of guys. And there's guys like Fiziev, Rafael Fiziev.
Right.
Or Fiziev just beat RDA. So you got these guys in that 6 to 10 range that are kind of coming in and surging. You got Conor, who's been out. And you've
so stacked.
And you've seen my handling of Conor as well. I mean, at some point, do I want to fight the guy? Of course, but we do have to cut Conor a little bit of slack. He broke his leg in half, and everybody's, calling him names, and everybody's calling him out and doing all this stuff.
There's a reason they're doing it.
Yeah, and everybody wants the fight, but also at the same time, let the guy recover. Let the guy.
Correct.
The sport of mixed martial arts, and especially the lightweight division, is better when Conor McGregor is part of it. But he needs to come back at the right time.
Agree, and not rush it.
And not rush it.
And
I mean,
take
he
another
snapped his
loss,
leg and
you can't have that.
Snapped his leg in half. So you got him out, and then and if you're talking about Charles, who wants the big money fight, and he's minced no words on it. He wants the big money fight. He thinks he deserves it, and I'm like, that's cool. Do that. You deserve it.
To him, what's the money fight? Conor?
It's got to be the Conor fight.
Now here, if you're Conor's
when's
management,
he coming back?
Here's the thing: when's he coming back? Also, the UFC's in a bit of predicament here because, Conor has the leg injury, and then Nate Diaz has one fight left. We know Nate's like, listen, give me one fight and then I'm out.
Yeah.
The UFC, I guarantee, is like, you ain't leaving till we get this Conor trilogy. Then you can go bounce, do what you want to do. So I think Conor's next fight is going to be Nate Diaz. They're not going to let Nate Diaz go without that trilogy. So they're not. Yeah. It's just not happening.
Yeah.
So I think that is going to be Conor's, whether it's his next fight, but that's Nate's next fight.
One thing.
So they got to wait on that. That's all they're doing. All they're doing is playing the long game with Nate and dragging out.
Which is crazy, though, because I love this. And me and Nate Diaz are not we don't even know each other. We're not friends by any means whatsoever. But I can show enough respect to the guys that deserve it in my mind. And you look at a guy like Nate Diaz, the question is, does he just take his last fight on his deal? Because they offered him Hamzat, or they offered him a couple other fights or whatever. Does he just take it? Because I do think when Nate Diaz says, I ain't fighting Conor, I don't want to fight Conor, I think Nate Diaz is a man of his word. And that even if it's to his own fault, if all of us are like, dude, what are you thinking? Go get the Conor fight because that's a huge payday.
No,
he's a man of principle.
Yeah.
Whether you want to say he's a gangster,
that's
he's
why if I'm the UFC,
whatever.
I'm like, cool, gangster, you do your thing. But Conor, we don't know how much he has left. Well, Chandler's down to fight for how much longer? And we can invest him and make him the face of the division. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to line up Conor, who will fight you. Yep. I'll line up Nate real quick. He can fight before Conor. So Nate, you take out Nate, boom, close that chapter. Yep. Take his, fan base, whatever. You get a lot of his fan base. People love you. You're not going to talk shit to him. No. You get his fan base. Lead up, Conor gets healthy. You take out Conor. And then it's like, you take out those two guys, and then we come on over to the fucking belt again. Yeah, it's like, well, and think how massive you'd be, dude.
And that's the thing. It's the cognitive dissonance / the playing both sides of the fence, where it's like everything in me wants to be the champion, everything in me wants to say, who do I fight next to get to the title? But then there's these huge fights, these massive fights, the legacy fights that get you in the Hall of Fame, that get you the huge platform, that get you the more lights, the more money, and that kind of stuff. So trying to see how the division that is constantly moving in the UFC, in the world. And it's the toughest division in the world, and it's the most exciting division in the world. So there's so many different options.
But it is a business. But you know what I'm saying? So business would be Chandler, get the Golden Goose fights with Nate Diaz, Conor, win those. You're going to have more fame and money that you can handle. You also have a family, so you just got another baby, right? Yep. In April. So he was born in April. So you have a family to take care of. Get that bag, because those guys are going to be around too long. And the chance of to fight one of them is impossible. You're in the talks to fight both of them, so you're making all the money in the world, and then you go over and do the thing. Because the short side thing would be like, oh, I want Islam right now. It's like, all right, Well, and because he's still building too. It's not like he's massive here.
Yeah, no, for sure. He's definitely still building. But
you're a bigger star than he is.
For sure, but he's also... People talk about win streaks, and you look at me, I'm 2-2 in the UFC, but I've had 4 of the toughest fights in the UFC that you could have. You get a guy like him, or even Beneil Dariush. Nothing against Beneil Dariush, but we're just a couple fights away from him fighting some guys that aren't even on the roster anymore. His win streak, you have to look at strength of schedule. When I said I wanted to come in and fight the top guys right away, you talk about Hooker, Oliveira, Gaethje, and Ferguson. These were all big stakes where I was taking... of course, there was the upside of beating these guys, but there's also the downside of, losing and now sitting at 2-2. But also, people won't always remember your wins and losses. They remember how you made them feel in the performances. 100%. So what do you do besides go out there, put your foot on the gas, and have a good time, and then, get in fights of the year, get in knockouts of the year? And that's all I've tried to do since the very beginning, which gives you options as we stand here today.
Like I said, you're the golden goose of the UFC.
Not options for me, though. Like, if they call me and say, hey, we want you to fight for the title, Hey, we're going to take a detour here. What do you think about fighting Diaz? Or what do you think about waiting for Conor? We don't know how long Conor's going to be out. We still don't have a timeline on that. So, I think I would love to fight Conor, would love to fight Diaz.
I'd say you're the front runner. The thing you have working against you is those guys do kind of call their shots a little bit. Yep. But I do think Nate, he's agreed to fight you already. Yeah. I think if they call Nate like, all right, you got Chandler in September, you're like, say less, let's do it. Yeah. And then Conor's into, he's like, we'll fight, that'll happen. So they're into it. And the guy we're leaving out, and you got into a verbal altercation at the last UFC pay-per-view, is Dustin Poirier, who I also love. I love both you guys. When I saw you guys bickering, I'm like, oh, what's happening here? Two good guys.
He got into a verbal altercation.
Why?
I actually don't know.
What happened? You were just walking by?
I was walking by with my wife, no less. First of all, you want to cuss at me and yell at me, one thing is whatever.
If you're solo with your boys,
but I'm with my wife, and we're also in public. I'm not the kind of guy who wants to be in a public altercation, and it's all over the media. And Gilbert Burns, a good friend of mine, he was the one who was taking the video, and I'm like, dude, you're basically,
he's all checking it out.
He's like, exactly, like he's now MMA media. Yeah. But no, I heard something, and you know how the UFC is, man. Security guards everywhere. I had 2 security guards with me. Hey, and I was like, what is that? He's like, no, keep walking. I'm like, no. I'm pretty sure he's pointing at me. And he was pointing at me. He was yelling some things, whatever. So I wanted to get close to at least have a conversation. Like, what are you saying, dude?
But you guys have a history, right?
I don't
ATT, think, or
no, we don't have a history, but here's what we do have. We had immense amount of respect followed by immense amount of disrespect on microphones followed by, okay, I guess we don't like each other anymore, which, you know, we came in, my last fight in Bellator, August of 2020, whatever, I'm fighting Benson Henderson. He's a cornering one of his buddies. Shake it up, dab it up, dude. Big fan of you, dude. Love the way you fight. You're a good dude outside the octagon, a savage inside, blah, blah, blah.
Good dad, great dad.
Yeah, then a couple,
so many common things.
And he was saying that kind of stuff about me as well in my career. Then I come over to the UFC, and then obviously on the microphone, hey, if they want me to fight Chandler, I'd rather just sell hot sauce. And I'm like, okay, that's completely different than what we, you know. And I get it. For him, he's a guy who's been in the UFC for what, a decade and a half or whatever.
40
I'm
years.
the new guy. So it's hard because you're playing the emotion, you're playing the actual physical fights, you're playing the chess of divisions and who is who. I come in, finish Dan Hooker in 2.5 minutes, which he couldn't do in 25 minutes. Yeah. So doing backflips, calling people out, saying his name, saying Connor's name. So I get
ruffled
it.
some feathers.
Yeah, I mean,
but also I don't hold anything against guys when they say stuff in interviews or on the mic. It's like they're trying to sell a fight. It's all good. Where I had was kind of like, you know, I got tense is that was straight up animosity from Dustin. It's whoa, there's no mics. We don't have to sell this thing. We're not even scheduled to fight, dude.
Oh no, it was like spitting and
I
cussing.
wonder why he's so mad. Maybe he's just trying to get a fight. Maybe he's frustrated because he, you know,
maybe
he has some options too, and he's like, I'm just waiting, you know, for the big fight.
Well, I mean, Connor's his option, right? You know, if Connor wanted to come back and settle the score with him, they're 1-1 now, but that's a couple months away. I mean, we're sitting in July. At this point, it was the 1st of July, basically. Yeah. So he's got, you know, the rest of the year if he wants to get a fight before that might happen in 2023. So, you know, I mean, rankings-wise, that kind of makes sense, but also, I mean, I'm focused on winning the title. Does fighting Poirier get me toward the title? I think you beat Beneil Dariush or you beat Islam, because those guys are the guys that are quote-unquote in line for the title. Charles Oliveira just demolished those two. Yeah, I got finished by Charles Oliveira, but I was the closest guy in the last
first round
7, 8, 9, 10 fights to beating Charles Oliveira. And then if you give me the opportunity to watch that fight, make a couple changes, get the rematch, fight a little bit more smart.
Oh, you could easily see you beating him.
I beat Oliveira.
Yeah,
that's
I agree.
100%.
Yeah, I agree. For your management, I think they're going to have to sit down, because if UFC goes, all right, what's Chandler want to do? Does he want to do the big money fights with Diaz and Connor, which we'll line up both those boys for him? Or does he want a direct, short path to the title, gets through Islam, guarantee him a title shot? You know, it's...
No, you're right, and not to...
I'm going this way, by the way.
Well, for
Connor,
sure,
Nate,
for sure, but not
I'll deal with these...
But not to put too much, not to put too much weight on where I stand in the organization of what we want to do. Remember, I'm a foot soldier and a pawn in some ways, and I make the right decisions for myself, my family, and the company. But then also thinking about, okay, what's best for all of us, the company as a whole, Michael Chandler's company as a whole, you know. So I don't know if I pull that much weight, but I know I want to come in with my work boots on, as I said, and do work, and then
so
put people on the edge of their feet.
You have a little bit of chips in your corner.
Well, yeah, that's the thing, and I know Diaz was chirping right after that, like he wants the.
He was like, "Let's go. He's healthy. Me. I'm ready. Let's go, man."
So it's definitely interesting, you know, and you know, now we just sit back and kind of see what's going to happen.
It's a good spot to be in, man.
I like it.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. I'm proud of you, man.
Thank you.
Now, you don't have a fight scheduled, but this truck, it's barbecue, and you're on carnivore like I am. So I made sure we got a carnivore truck for us, because we don't want to get in crazy out of shape like Patty Pimblett or anything like that.
Stay in shape.
So let's stick with the carnivore diet. Let me feed you and we'll continue this talk, my man.
Go.
Let's do it.
Trying to get my pockets bigger than a thick boy. Swagger so lit, it probably make you sick, boy. If you looking for the wave, this is it. Me and Griffin had to flip it to some old school shit. Riding in the whip, wheels jumping on hydraulics. I've been grinding every day, feeling like a workaholic. I can't even really call it, I just call it what it is. Do it big like Brennan and make everything fit.
All right, let's take a little break from chatting with my boy Michael Chandler, a.k.a. the Cash Cow, as I call him, because he has a big fight coming up. But now a little word from our sponsor. I'm talking about BetterHelp. And how well would you take care of your car if you had to keep the same one your entire life? That's how our brains work, man. That's the engine to your body. So why don't we treat our brains this way, man? It might not be cool to talk about mental health and stuff like that, but it should be, and it's getting better. It's getting a lot better, man. BetterHelp is here to help you guys out. Guys, gals, whoever you are, you need help, and you're sick of talking to your friends. You need professional counseling. That's right. BetterHelp is online therapy that offers video, phone, and even live chat only therapy sessions, so you don't have to see anyone on camera if you don't want to. It's much more affordable than in-person therapy, and you can be matched with a therapist in under 48 hours. Professional therapy, man. It does some wonders for people out there, including myself. And the Food Truck viewers and listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/Schaub, SCHAUB. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/Schaub. Now let's get back to the program.
Let's do it, boss.
How you doing, man?
How you doing, man? Thanks for having us, brother.
Absolutely.
Thanks for doing this, man.
Thanks for the invite.
Yeah, a little Kelley's barbecue. I'm not mad at it, man.
Yes,
No.
sir.
Talking
Let's
about
go.
two carnivore kids here. We only eat meat.
All right.
I'll do the combo. I don't need the sides. I'll just do the ribs and the brisket combo.
Sounds good.
No sides.
This is ribs and brisket. Would you like it with barbecue sauce?
Yeah, please.
All right. What about for you,
So
sir?
I'll do the exact same thing. Can I do barbecue sauce on the side?
Absolutely.
Ribs and brisket.
Anything to drink?
You have Diet Coke?
Nothing diet. I have lemonade.
Is this Kool-Aid? I thought I smelled Kool-Aid.
It is.
That's Kool-Aid?
Yes, sir.
I'll take some Kool-Aid.
All right, I got you.
Fuck it. Kool-Aid. I've had Kool-Aid since I was a kid.
Yeah, exactly.
There's nothing better than Kool-Aid.
No, let's go. Can't.
He's not gonna have
Let's
Kool-Aid
go.
because he's a better person than me.
No, I'm good.
But I will.
Not a better person.
He's
I
currently
got water, I'm
fighting,
good.
so
Yeah.
he won't have Kool-Aid. But I have to fight for nothing, so I will have Kool-Aid.
Take it off.
Hell yeah, I'll
That's
take
good.
that Kool-Aid.
For nostalgia.
Hell yeah.
I got you.
Perfect, man.
Give
Best
us
truck
about
ever.
2 minutes. That'll come up. All right.
Thanks,
Perfect.
sir.
Thank you. Got to get the Kool-Aid, man.
I thought I smelled Kool-Aid.
Came in as an underdog, but now I'm on my way. Stayed up every single night and hustled every day. I've been going so hard. Now I'm on my way. Like, oh my God. Now I'm on my way. Came in as an underdog, but now I'm on my way. Stayed up every single night and hustled every day. I've been going so hard. Now I'm on my way. Like, oh my God. Now I'm on my way.
Let's do it, my man.
Let's go.
Carnivore bros, dude.
Carnivore bros.
I tried my best to eat carnivore. Now I should have took your idea and not get barbecue. They really,
you had a lot.
they really drench this bad boy in barbecue. Now it does look good. You know, barbecue's good when it's like a dark color.
Oh, yeah,
if
that's
it's
good.
light and not
Yeah.
for you. So it's gonna get pretty sloppy. And we're both wearing white, so that's so cool.
That was a good idea.
Hell yeah, dude. How long you been doing carnivore for?
So I actually started experimenting with it in my last training camp, but then, you know, well, maybe not you because you're a heavyweight, but like
Yeah.
you don't want to experiment too much in training camp, right?
Mess with your energy.
But I was doing a lot of avocado bone marrow. I was getting bone marrow from this place down in Florida, and then liver. So I was trying to do liver like once a week.
More it's like keto,
Yeah.
right? Because you're doing high fat, it's more keto, right?
Yeah, I mean, once I, because I was coming off of eating some carbs going into training camp. Once I switched my body over to burning mainly fat, then I was doing mainly fat, very little carbs whatsoever.
And how'd you feel?
I felt great, honestly. I don't know if it was placebo effect. Sometimes too, you're in training camp too, and you're just like, okay, well, I don't have a choice but to feel good today.
Yeah, and
so
your
you just
shape,
like
it's
dip down.
mental. Yeah. And now you're trying carnivore before you go into camp, see if
Mm-hmm.
it's fine. I don't know, because, I ride my bike all the time, I hike, I do just like meat and potatoes in the weight room at Zoo Culture. I do like deadlifts, bench, shoulders, meathead stuff. Mm-hmm. So I can't really, like my energy, my strength is fine, but I don't know, like I'll do the Tough Mudders, which are, I'll eat carbs before I do a Tough Mudder.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you do carnivore and just base your fuel source off just straight meat.
Fat.
I don't know if it's...
So carnivore, I don't know. Who knows who created carnivore? But whatever, and actually, what carnivore is?
Cavemen?
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of like fasting. Some people say, you hear it all on Rogan's show, like, hey, fasting, you break your fast if you have coffee. And then some people say, no, you can have coffee. And
Yeah,
some
I
people
have
will say
coffee.
you can have black coffee, but not cream. You're like,
Yeah. Can't have cream.
everything's a modified version of a certain label, right?
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I'm doing mainly meat and fats. A little bit of veggies here and there. If I take my wife out to dinner and she orders Brussels sprouts and asparagus and stuff, I'm not going to be like, sorry, babe. So
It's easier for you because obviously, you're fighting at a world-class level and you have these huge fights come up, so it's
Yeah.
easier to stick to a diet. But my diet gets a little dicey. I'll be super strict during the week, but then if my son's like, Dad, I want to go see Minions, I'll take him to Minions and we're there and it's one of those theaters we can order food. So I'll get you don't be the weird dad who's always on a diet.
Yeah.
My son's like, what are you getting ready for?
well, and actually, dude,
Yeah,
honestly,
body dysmorphia, buddy.
well, and actually, it's kind of sad.
Shout out
like-
to Kool-Aid, by the way.
But yeah, he's got Kool-Aid. But honestly, my son has kind of developed that a little bit.
That's what I was going to ask you.
Because it's really sad. For a moment, me and my wife were like, hey, we gotta, like, you need to make sure you eat an Oreo with him or eat some Cheez-Its. And
So you can see it's okay.
Because, I mean, his brain has developed enough these last couple years. Before when he was a year or two, he's not thinking about anything. But now he's old enough to notice that Daddy comes home on the weekends But, even on my birthday, Daddy couldn't eat a birthday cake in April because I was fighting in May.
Yeah.
So we got a birthday cake, but he could eat it, but I couldn't. So then in his little mind, he's like, well, shoot.
If it's not good for Dad.
Yeah, it's not good for Dad, and it's not good for me, when really we don't make it a non-safe space for the eating, but it is just like, hey, Daddy can't eat this right now.
For these reasons.
So we have to be really careful.
Yeah.
The other day we got
Is the kid shredded or?
He is shredded. He is shredded, but it's more mental than it is
For
physical.
sure.
I don't care if he's.
You don't want him having like that association with like sugar and junk food where it's like, oh no, this is horrible. Because then those kids get in high school and middle school and the weird kid who, their sweet tooth is a banana.
Yeah, so you have to be careful with it. So I find myself the other day we got donuts and I was like, I made sure I eat it in front of him and I ate a second one.
Purged afterwards.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, and then I went and puked.
I did. Dad, why are you throwing up?
No, I didn't.
That's what I do.
But it's kind of funny that you bring that up. Yeah, because just as a byproduct of my career, I have to be in a eat perfect season.
That's your business.
And
I think it's good for your kids. I think it's good that Dad's not eating McDonald's and fast food 24/7, all the sugar. Like I'll tell my son, I'm like, "Oh, Dad, don't you want this kid?" I'm like, "No, dude, I like to be big and strong."
Yeah.
Like that. It's good to do that sometimes, but if you just do that, you're not going to be big. You're not going to be strong.
Big, strong, and a parenting tip. We talk about growing. It's like, well, when you eat a Cheez-It, you might not grow, but if you eat, broccoli or you eat food, that you're going to grow a little bit more. You know? Maybe that's the wrong way to do it. Listen, as you know, parenting, you're just flying by the seat of your pants. You're
just trying to figure out.
I thought all those parents knew what they were doing. They probably didn't know what they were doing when we were growing up either. They're just figuring it out.
My parents were insane.
They're just figuring it out.
My mom, insane. We had pizza every night, cheese pizza. Like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. Couldn't have been healthy.
Yeah, if you were an athlete or you had stuff going on, we did pizza, spaghetti.
It was okay though because you were playing so much as a kid back then. Like I burned all that shit off, but now I have an eating problem. Yeah, it's not good. But now you're added to the Chandler family. You got another baby.
April
You have the same
19th.
kid.
April 19th, my second son was born. I fought May 7th. So I left Florida, went out, we adopted him, and then I was in a hotel room in a hospital for a couple days. I flew back to Florida. My wife flew back to Tennessee. My son Hap flew back to Tennessee. He went back to school. So like,
how's that work? Like, I heard to adopt a child is like it's not easy. It's like a process, right?
it is, and it's a process. And everybody's journey and story is different.
Unless you're Michael Chandler, you just go in there and go, I'll take that one.
Well,
wrap them up.
No, well, the funny thing is that I don't want to talk even too much about even like Hap's story because it was very quick for me. Very, very quick. But there's some people who are waiting on a wait list for years.
I know. And there's so many kids out there.
I have
It's
people,
tragic.
I have people in like a community of people that I kind of help with adoption or I'm praying for it. Like, hey, we're looking into this, whatever. And like there's people that are waiting a year and a half. And now the process takes a while because you got to get a stack of paperwork this much.
And they're just
like,
making sure you're not like a Manson family?
FBI background check,
Oh, wow.
criminal history, physical background check. I had to go in, get a physical, get my blood drawn. Do I have any history of this, that, and the other thing?
Oh, wow.
Fingerprints in, all the different states that we were eligible in. So
Jesus.
yeah, so it's,
I heard it's like people think, oh, I'm just going to adopt, but it's a beast. Now, I guess my question for you, and hopefully this isn't too personal, but
Oh, boy.
why adopt and not have your own? Because you and your wife are, I mean, you guys are.
well, good question.
You guys are. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
those,
keep it
you
coming.
put those gene pools together, man. You guys are taking over the world.
No,
you don't want to
well,
have your own little Chandlers running around?
No, it's so
Like with your
funny.
wife's face, your body?
It's so funny, and I've thought about that. But ever since my wife was like 14, 15 years old, she wanted to adopt.
She never wanted to have her own.
No, it's not that she didn't want to have her own. She just knew she wanted to adopt. And then it's almost kind of like once you've done it once, we were like, holy cow, this was so much better than we thought. It superseded so much of the expectations. Just, I mean, I think it's hard for somebody to understand because people, I see the comments online or this, whatever, and people say, well, there's no way that you could love an adopted child as much as you would love your own genes. And
I don't know if that's true.
until you have felt that and you have felt the love of a child and you felt the love that you've had for a child, whether he's an African American with dark skin and like looks different than me.
He's human.
We don't
He's a
exactly,
baby.
but that's what I'm saying. We don't look alike.
No.
So I don't need. But I never needed my son to be, brown eyes and brown hair and walk around like me to love him.
Doing
It's a very it's a very shallow way to look at a human
Yeah.
life and a child. And I'm like, when I fell in love with my son Hap in October of 2017, and since then we knew we were going to do it again. And then it's just you're just trying to figure out what you want. And honestly, for us, from that moment, we never thought about having our own children as much as we thought about adopting again. So then that's when doors are opened or certain doors close, or and that's honestly been our journey, and we've enjoyed it so much.
I mean, more power to you. I couldn't do it. Like, listen, there's nothing I love more on this freaking planet than my 6 and 2-year-old. It's the best in the world. But if that kid wasn't my flesh and blood, the verbal and physical abuse I take from this child, like, I'll get home today, dude. He talks shit to me, throw stuff at me. If that wasn't my kid, I'm like, get out.
No, dude, I guarantee. And it's funny because you never know, because I don't know what it's like to have a biological child, So I don't know what I would feel.
Yeah. I mean, same with you adopting. Like, it's, having a kid is scary, dude. It's like your anxiety's through the roof all times. Yeah. We go to the movie theater. It's just the culture we live in. I'm thinking, all right, someone comes in here with a gun. We always sit in the back. My dad's like, my son's always like, Dad, why can't we sit in the front? I'm like, I don't like the front. So I can't even enjoy the movie. I'm looking around at exits and shit like a psychopath.
Bro.
Yeah, that's the culture we're in.
That's a messed up world we live in.
Yeah, it's not good. Yeah, glass
But
half
the funny thing is, I think about all that same stuff, same struggles that someone with a biological child goes through, same struggles as, same highs, same lows, same everything.
Now let me ask you this: is it like that movie Me, Myself, and Irene with Jim Carrey and the 3 black kids? Do they know like you're not their actual father?
Yes.
Like, are they at the age?
Well, my son Hap does, yes, and that was one part of our journey that we always wanted to do. Is we have open adoptions where we have contact with birth mothers, birth fathers. Like our son Hap knows he's adopted. We pray for his birth mom every night. We talk about his birth mom often. We talk about the word adoption. We want to make the word adoption a positive, uplifting.
Yeah, take the
happy,
power from the negativity
for sure.
Yeah.
And even other kids will come up and say, well, why doesn't he have the same color skin as you? And you just explain to them, God makes families in a lot of different ways. God makes some families through a mommy and a daddy, and He makes some families through adoption.
Yeah.
He makes some
I'll
families.
say, mind your business, little kid.
Like,
What
beat
are
it,
you,
nerd.
stupid? Clearly adopted. Go ask your parents, dumbass. Right? What are you in 4th grade?
Educate yourself.
Figure it out, man.
He's like, I'm 3, sir.
Yeah, I'm 3. I'm like, well, don't ask stupid questions.
No question's a dumb question.
Yeah,
Except for that question.
Except for that one. That one's fucking stupid, Timmy. All right, let's take a little break from chatting with my boy, Michael Chandler, a.k.a. the Cash Cow, as I call him, because he has a big fight coming up. But now a little word from our sponsor. I'm talking about BetterHelp. And how well would you take care of your car if you had to keep the same one your entire life? That's how our brains work, man. That's the engine to your body. So why don't we treat our brains this way, man? It might not be cool to talk about mental health and stuff like that, but it should be, and it's getting better. It's getting a lot better, man. BetterHelp is here to help you guys out. Guys, gals, whoever you are, you need help, and you're sick of talking to your friends. You need professional counseling. That's right. BetterHelp is online therapy that offers video, phone, and even live chat only therapy sessions, so you don't have to see anyone on camera if you don't want to. It's much more affordable than in-person therapy, and you can be matched with a therapist in under 48 hours. Professional therapy, man. It does some wonders for people out there, including myself. And the Food Truck viewers and listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/Schaub, S-C-H-A-U-B. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/Schaub. Now let's get back to the program. Yeah. So, are they from Africa? Or are they
No.
They're from North? They're from the United States.
Yeah.
And
From the
with
States.
their mom that had to give adoption, they're just falling on hard times, or they just don't have the means
Yeah.
to support a child.
It's always different. I think there's just there's such a bigger plan at work happening. When it comes to, do you think about just the specific birth mom or even the scenario, or do you think about? I truly believe that I was put on this earth to be Hap's dad, to be Ace's dad.
Love it.
When I was born,
Great
freaking
names.
36 years ago.
Yeah.
So, I think it just you're being led by it all. Obviously, I mean, we have prayed for Hap since me and Bree got together when I first decided we were going to adopt, and because I didn't really choose it. She said, "Hey, this is what I've always wanted to do. How do you feel about it?" It took me a while to, yeah, of course. And I was like, I'm in.
Yeah.
After a little while, and then we've been praying for him since 2000, whatever it was, 12 when
Yeah.
we got together, 13, and then now Ace. And the cool thing about Ace, our second son, was
Great name.
as we talked about. Your 6-year-old isn't just a kid anymore. He's a big brother,
Yeah.
and that's a huge responsibility.
Yes.
And I think not putting the pressure of the responsibility, but putting the ownness and the accountability and the pride of being a big brother.
Yeah, you don't want it to be like, hey, now, you know, half our attention is going to this little dude, so get ready, dude. We didn't do that. When Boston was born, we brought Tiger in, and I was like, your brother came into the world, dude. Like this is your little brother, man. So you know, this is on you. Take care of him. Like, here's your brother. Like, we made it like ownership for him. So he felt so much pride and responsibility. And then he's like the best big brother ever, man.
And,
ever.
It's so cool, and it's really cool to see that relationship. And in the adoption process, obviously there wasn't the 9 months of, hey, mommy is pregnant.
Yeah,
you know, we kept
little dude just showed up.
Yeah, we because you want to keep it, you want to protect him by keeping it completely secret until it's 100% he's your baby brother. So seeing that, and now seeing the last couple months, or
God bless you, man.
It's been
and it's so much better with 2.
Oh, yeah.
So much better.
Yeah.
Heard 3's easier.
Well, yeah.
Heard 4's even easier.
That's
what I heard.
The other day, my wife was talking about number 3, so we're like, well,
oh, dude,
we'll
I want 9 of them. There's nothing better. Also, God, your kids, I mean, granted, they've brought so much value to your life, but those little dudes won the lottery. Michael Chandler's your dad? You know what I'm saying? These kids won the goddamn lottery, dude.
I don't know, man. Yeah, that's what people say. Like, I think that's one of the biggest things that I really enjoy people saying, like, hey, you know, that's so cool that what you did for the world, for these kids, whatever.
Take away all your accolades being a fighter, but you're a good person. That's why when I say win the lottery, like, you're a good person, your wife is a good person, you know, and you do things the right way, and you have values, and we need more people like you. So even though it's not your flesh and blood, they are. And they're going to be.
You cannot convince me.
No, they are.
They're not.
And they're going to be raised the same values that you were brought up. And we need more Michael Chandlers in this world. You know what I'm saying? That's why those kids won the lottery. Not because you have money or success. It's because you're their dad, and and they have this great mom who have a foundation. And they're going to take care of them.
Yeah, I know it's really cool. I mean, and I just see it as these dudes have blessed me so much, man. And it changed your life. Same whether it's biological children, adopted children. I mean, children of any sort, or however any means that you create the family. It's just such an amazing thing. And
most important thing you ever do, and also the best. Sure. Like same with you. Like, we've done some cool shit. I've been in some big UFC fights. I've been big college football games. You know, I've performed at huge theaters and big Comedy Store, Laugh Factory, Improv. Nothing has compared to being a dad. You know what I'm saying?
It's the greatest title.
It blows all that away.
And it's the greatest title that you will ever attain and acquire, because as men, we're wired to go obtain, acquire, build, create. But the most important title that we'll ever have is dad, and it's something that gets glossed over sometimes because we have so much stuff going on, or it's, hey, they'll be fine, and to a certain extent, you have to be selfish at times in order to be selfless. Even me, man, leaving my family for 8-10 weeks at a time.
Oh, when I go on tour, I go on tour this week, it's like I'm gone for 3 days. It's a nightmare, man.
Yeah.
I hate it.
But without you doing that and feeding your soul and feeding your passion, you're actually a shell of the 100%. Man that you were created to be. Therefore, you can't be a good father.
And I'll say this too: once you have, like, now you have 2 kids, it creates some just like. You go to a different level as a man, as a dad, especially as a fighter, as a comic, or a business owner. You just have this like fire inside you now, because now you got to take care of another human being, where it's just like you don't even notice it, but it's like this dad power activates in you. Yeah. That's why I feel sorry for the next guy you fight.
Yeah, dude,
Papa Bear power is nutsos, dude.
It's just different.
You can't control it.
My last fight, Hap was there, which was awesome that I won, but dude, it was the most pressure probably I've ever felt in my entire life. There was other stuff going on. I had lost 2 in a row at that point. Yeah, fight of the years and title fights, whatever. But you still lost your last 2.
To go to where you want to go,
you can't lose to Tony Ferguson and tell anybody that you're vying for the title.
Yeah, it's gonna get dicey after that. Yeah.
And then my son was there, and it was a lot of pressure. I didn't lead on like it was, but it was a lot of pressure.
And my God, did it work out.
It worked out well.
Now, not only is it working out, but like I said, you're the cash cow for the UFC. And then, I do the Schaub show. My boys brought up, they go, Chandler was on Masked Singer. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
It was.
Masked Singer? How'd that come about?
Dude, so actually my nanny was like, hey, Michael, I don't ever want to, put your name out there or whatever, but like I'm part of this group. And they were Nashville was they were doing live shows.
Masked Singer Live, right?
Masked Singer Live. So it was a live show of the Masked Singer. And they said, hey, do you know any local celebrities that might want to be a part of this? And she's like, I didn't throw your name in there. And I told her, I was like, this is our first fight. We're in a fight. I can't believe you didn't throw my name out there. She's like, I didn't know that you. And I was like, call him or text him right now. And then 3 hours later, they were like, hey, do you want to be on it? It's July, whatever it was. I'm like, yeah, absolutely. And they're like, okay. I'm like, do I need to do an audition or whatever? They're like, no, you got the part if you want to do it. I'm like, okay. And then
how'd you pick the song?
It was between like 4 or 5. There was like Garth Brooks and there was Old Town Road. I knew I didn't want to do a dude because my voice is so bad. I didn't want to like butcher a good song.
Yeah.
Butcher Garth Brooks.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
He's royalty.
Yeah.
And
they would hang you in Nashville.
So I did Hit Me Baby One More Time by freaking Britney
I watched
Spears.
it. Hey, I'm not mad at the vocals either.
Vocals were so bad, dude.
Man, maybe it was our bad speakers.
I hope so.
I was like, you can kind of sing, no?
Well, there was I had it in my ears and I was like, dang, dude, this is so bad. It almost like messed up my, dancing routine. And I was wearing a boombox. Only like this much of my hands were sticking out. So I had to like lift it up to like shake my butt a little bit and like, I was just like.
You glad you did it though?
Oh yeah,
Did your wife go with you?
Yeah, my wife was
She
there.
got off stage, she's like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, well, of course, she's my, one of my worst critics when it comes to like that funny stuff.
yeah.
She's like, your voice was so bad. I'm like, babe, come on, it wasn't that bad, She's like, no, it was pretty
Not
bad.
good.
It was pretty bad.
Well, you
Will
tell your
Compton
wife-
was there.
Oh, Will, that's our guy.
Yeah, Will
I
and
love Will.
Charo were there. So he actually started taking a video and he's like, oh, hell no. Like as soon as he heard like the vocals for the first time. And they said they were going to auto-tune it better, or maybe that was the best they could do, but to me, it was pretty bad.
I thought it was pretty good.
Oh, thank you.
Don't hate on you, man. They need to have Will and Taylor do it.
Oh, for
together.
sure.
A tandem.
For sure. I actually, I was going to put their name in the hat for the next one, but I don't know.
Great. They're great.
I don't know when
Shout
they're
out to
coming
Bustin'
back.
with the Boys. Well, before we get you out of here, we always do I always give every guest a shoe because I'm a
go ahead.
sneakerhead. Biggest sneakerhead my man.
Yes, you are.
And you came in, I said, oh, you got the Hirachis on. You said, I have no idea what these
I didn't
are.
know what the
They're
Hirachis
comfortable.
were.
And I said, that's how I know you're a dad because you go for comfort. If you came in here with Crocs, I was just like, we're not shooting.
I saw your video of the Croc thing the other day. Dude.
Kids are into Crocs.
That's bad.
Drive me nuts. Anyways, it'd be hilarious if I gave you Crocs. No.
Yeah.
These are not Crocs. These are the ultimate dad shoe.
Are they?
They are the most hype beast dad shoe of all time.
Okay.
You're a new dad and you like comfort, but you're also the cash cow of the UFC now. Your next UFC fight is going to be a big boy. So you need some big boy dad shoes, superstar shoes. Well, these are the Yeezy dad shoes.
Dude,
go ahead and soak those in. Those are from my friends at Suplex in Philly.
Oh, bro.
And usually I go, all right, what are you guys thinking? And I told him, I said, dude, I need the original Yeezy dad shoes.
These are, dude.
The Yeezy Boost 700s. They're
These are
the most
sick.
comfortable shoe I own.
Are they really?
I wear them, dude. I'll mow my lawn in them. I'll look at my ficuses in them. I'll do dad shit in these.
Ficuses.
Dude, I do daddy shit in these.
Daddy stuff. You get extra daddy.
Yeah, they're comfortable.
Extra
too,
daddy
dude.
in these bad dogs.
And they're also dope.
Yeah,
Like you can wear them with jeans, you wear them out. You eat dinner tonight, the thing you got tonight, you do all that.
I'm going to wear these to dinner tonight with Dave.
That's for you, my man, the ultimate
Dude,
dad.
Appreciate you, bro.
The UFC
Thank you.
Cash Cow. Michael Chandler.
Make it big, super thick. From my wallet to my check. I don't want it if it's skinny, but I need it if it's thick. Need it thick, girl. For the thick boy. I need everything I get super